Hello guys, my name is Elson Pius and my team members are Romy Matthew and PT Vosley. Together we have made a game AirStrike, which is a Qt application. We hope you like it.
So this is how the application is looking till now. So this is the demo of the application. So up arrow, right arrow, left arrow, down arrow, and the space for the bullets. So this is the demo. Now I'll show the coding part. So in this we are going to see concepts like a Q graphic scene, Q graphic item, Q graphic rect item, Q graphic view. What is the Q graphic scene? Q graphic scene is like a container, if like a player is gonna put into the Q graphic scene class. So we have created the Q scene name as it is a scene and then call the Q graphic scene. Next up, we have to declare the set the position on the x and y axis, which is 0, which is by default, and then we are gonna set the length of the rectangle, which is 100, and the width of the rectangle, which is 100. So, what is a Q graphic item? So geographic item includes only the subclasses and itself only, and the geographic rect item is inherited from the geographic item. Next, we are gonna add this item to the scene and then make it as a focus ribbon. Then what is geographic view? Geographic view is like it is used to visualize the scene. So we are gonna create a view which is named as a view and then call qgraphics view and then set it as a horizontal bar policy which is a scroll up so for the to of to the hide the scroll bar we have to set this and then to show the view we are declaring the show and then read right. Next up we are gonna create the header file and the source file of the name it as a myrec. In header file, the key press event and Q key event comes into the point. So what is Q key event? Q key events, which is store the information like user has pressed this like left, up, down like this. It keeps the information of it. Next, in which in this we are gonna see like a key press. For this we have to in for left, which is on the x-axis of the left side, which is negative values. So we have to minus the minus 10 from the x. So x value is 0, so it's gonna be minus. So for the positive x-axis we have to add the 10, and same goes with the upside arrow and downside arrow. So on the y-axis, we are going to subtract the 10 and add the 10 when for the up and down arrow. Next, for the bullets, we have to create a bullet. So we are creating the bullet name as a bullet and then calling the function bullet and then set it the position of the x and y. So in this, we are using the space key for the bullet. So we are going to see the bullet file. In this, we have declared the position of it to the 0 on the both axes x and y, which is by default. Next up is the 10 and on the length, which is length of the bullet is 10 and the width of the bullet is a 50, which has been set as in the pixels. Next, we have to connect the bullet. So for this, we are going to use Qt timer, and then we have to declare the name as a timer and then call the Qt timer. So in this, we are going to use signal also. So for the connecting, we have time connecting using timer and signal for the for this, and then this is a we had declare like a bullet is gonna start in the 50 milliseconds. So we have added over here 50 milliseconds. Next to the move bullet up. For move the bullet up, we are gonna so up for upside the y-axis, so we are gonna -10 on the up uh, on the y-axis. Next step is a bullet edge. So we are gonna see header file in which we are gonna see Q graphic rectangle. As I said, Q graphic rectangle is an inherited class of the Q graphic item itself only. Then we have to declare the object Q object, and then we have to declare the bullet and slot for it. So slot is we are declaring it in the public class, and it's the next part is gonna explain by the Elson. Over to Elson.
Hey guys, my name is Elson Pius and I've made some changes to the AirStrike application. So this is how the AirStrike application looks right now. So let me quickly show what changes did I do. So first of all, if you noticed, the size of the window was fixed, so I fixed that. In the main, what I did is view set fixed size 800 by 600. 800 is the x-axis, 600 is the y-axis, and I'm also setting the scene size. What is scene? Basically, scene is inside whatever you see inside the window is the scene. So scene also I'm doing 00 800 by 600. Then what it is, I renamed. By the way, I renamed rect to player because player makes more sense. And then what I did is I'm preventing the player from moving up and down. Yeah, so for that what I did is in my rect, if you see, there were two more if else statements for key up and key down. I removed those, and then so when the bullet goes above the window, when the bullet goes off the scene, I want to remove the bullet because otherwise the bullet will keep the bullet will stay in the memory. So in order to prevent that, what I did is in bullet CPP here I'm adding a condition when I'm if position y, that is the position of the bullet on the y-axis, plus rect height. Rect height is basically the height of the bullet is less than 0. Less than 0 as in 0 is right the origin, right, on y-axis the topmost part. So if it is less than 0, then what you do is remove the bullet. Remove the bullet from the scene first of all, and then delete the bullet. Then what I'm doing is I'm also preventing the player from moving off the screen sideways. So when the player is moving, let's say left or right, it shouldn't move off the screen. So for that, what I'm doing is on left I'm basically adding an if condition. If position.x is greater than 0, only then move to the left, and if position.x plus 100, which is the width of the player, is less than 800, so only then move right. And then I've created enemies that are coming from the top. So for that I've created a enemy.h header file. This is pretty similar to the bullet files. Again a constructor, the move method, and enemy.cpp. Now here what I'm doing is as you can see, I want the enemy to be spawned randomly on the x-axis randomly. So for that what I've done is I'm including this stdlib method header file, and I'm creating a variable random number inside which I'm calling the rand function, which will give me a random integer number, but it's going to be a big integer number. So what I'm doing is I'm doing mod 700, so that I get the number should be less than or equal to 700 only, so that the position of the enemy doesn't go out of the screen on the x-axis. And then I'm setting the position of the enemy. X-axis would be random and the y-axis would be 0 because I always want the enemy to start from the top. And then drawing the enemy, basically set rect 0 0 100 100, which is basically the size of the rectangle of the enemy. Then what I'm doing is okay, so I'm creating a timer here and I'm connecting the timer to the signal timeout method, and this, which is basically the enemy, and slot move, that is the enemy's move method. Okay, and I want the enemy to move every 50 milliseconds, so that's why it's here. And then the move method. So in the move method, what I'm doing is I want the enemy to keep moving down. So what I'm doing is set position x, which is whatever x is, and y plus 5. So y plus 5, so I want the enemy to move down by 5 pixels. Okay, every 50 milliseconds I want the enemy to move down by 5 pixels. That's why that. And also I don't want the enemy to go like the enemy keeps on going down, right? I don't want the enemy to, like, if the enemy goes below the screen, then I want to remove the enemy. So for that, if position y plus the height of the enemy, rect height, is greater than 600, that is the height of the screen, then remove item this and then delete this, which is remove item enemy and delete enemy from the scene. Now I'm creating a spawn method. So first I want to instantiate the enemy inside the scene. So in the main method here, what I'm doing is I'm creating a timer, and I'm connecting the timer with the signal timeout method and player spawn. So spawn is basically, I've created this method inside the player class, so that's why that. And I'm starting the timer by 2000 milliseconds. So every 2000 milliseconds the spawn method will be called. So what the spawn method does is, inside the spawn method, I'm creating an enemy and I'm just adding the enemy to the scene. And then also last thing what I want is, when let's say the enemy collides with a bullet, so I want both the enemy and the bullet to disappear. So for that, what I'm doing is, in the bullet, yeah, right here. So what I'm doing is, I've added this queue list, and I'm basically making a queue list of queue graphics item. Now queue graphics item has a method colliding items, which basically returns us all the items that are colliding in the scene. So a queue list of queue graphics item, colliding items is colliding items. So it will return me the pointers to all the items that are being collided. I'm running a for loop for int I is equal to 0, n is equal to colliding item dot size. If I is less than n, plus plus I. If type ID, the type ID of the colliding item, the current colliding item, is equal to the type ID of the enemy, which basically means if the current colliding item is an enemy, then what you do is, you remove the colliding item, which is the enemy, from the scene, and you remove the bullet as well. And then you also delete the item and enemy and delete the bullet in order to save memory. That is all the changes that I did. Thank you.
Hello sir, I'm Rumi Matthew. I'll be implementing some more features in this game. So what I'm implementing here is I'm implementing score and health for our player. So what I'm doing is in score, when bullet is colliding to when bullet is colliding to the UFO, then what am I doing is I'm increasing the score. How am I increasing? I have a score class here and I have a function there. In that score, I have a score variable which gets initialized by 0 and I increases it by 1. Okay, so and I just set the plain text, that is score, and with the variable. Second thing what I implement is I'm implementing health for a player. So what am I doing is, we have 3 healths for a player. That's why it's getting initiated by number 3. So what am I doing is, when enemy reaches the end of the screen, that is end of the y-axis, that is maximum of y-axis, what am I doing is I'm calling my health class with the decrease function, where we are decreasing the value of health, and if the health is 0, the game gets over. I am just calling a function in my game class. In there, game over text will appear and the game will get over, and you'll get a pop-up of quitting thing. So till now what my friends had done is, they implemented some non-graphical things like using objects, rectangle, square. So I'm implementing graphical view here. So what am I doing is, I'm implementing some images simply with one line. I'm implementing using, I'll show you. First of all, I'll show you the background that I set it. I'll show you the demo after this. Set background brush, Q brush, and with Q image. From these two class, I'm implementing the background image. So the next thing is I'm implementing enemy images for enemy with setpix map. I'm implementing uh, enemy PNG, and same goes for everything else. For bullet, here I am setting it with pixmap, and for a player 2, we are setting the pixmap here. Okay, simple things. Now I'll give you a quick demo so that we can really know how our app looks like, game looks like. Sorry. This is the background, this is the alien here, and this is a spaceship. A bullet will looks like this. And as soon as the alien touches the bottom of the screen, that is y-axis, the health decreases. And when the colliding happens with the alien and a spacecraft, score increases one by one, as I demonstrated. Same thing. And when the UFO touches the bottom of the screen at the maximum y-axis, game gets over. That is, you'll get a quit option. You can quit it and you can restart your game and play again. That's it. Hope you guys liked it. Thank you so much for watching us. Thank you. Bye.